I'm going to try to pick up where I left off last time. I was a little bit, um, I guess I'm trying to hold these to 10 minutes, and I don't know how it's even going, but I thought I would try to see, taking my other lessons that I had done, or my other longer work, and bring it down to about 10 minutes. And I think that we stopped last time at line 53, I believe. And I'm just trying to put this back together again as to where I'm at. Uh, 54, I went to my refuge, and line 54 reads, Echisha, in my refuge, Ena lama siya Echisha, in my refuge, they flourished, Ena shumim, in peace. And so looking at the grammar here, Ena lama siya, I rendered it in my refuge. Hina introduces the genitive of the noun lamasi, to flourish, meaning refuge, with the ya ending of the first person personal pronoun. So in my refuge, ihisa is the verb here, is the G preterite, third feminine plural, from nahashu, to flourish. So the text says that the people flourished in peace and Hammurabi's protection. I'm reminded of Psalm 91:4, where the Lord promises to cover his people with his protection under his wings. And so in the next line, 56 and following, it reads, in peace, ina shumim atabashinati, in peace I have ruled. And so going back to line 56, ina shumim means in peace. And then I have ruled. Notice the form here, or the atabashinati, line 56, is a GTN preterite, first common singular with a pronominal direct object suffix, third feminine singular. Literally, I have ruled them, from wabalu, to rule or look after. Again, note that the tan infix in TANB becomes TABB. There is an iterative aspect of the verb here. And then in line 57, it read, Ena nemikia, in my wisdom, ushtab shirshinati, I have caused them to be sheltered. And so going back to 56, nemikia is a noun, genitive singular, with the first with the I suffix, and introduced by the hina preposition taking the genitive plus the pronominal suffix, first person singular in ya, meaning my wisdom. So in my wisdom, and notice the noun nemekum means wisdom. So in my wisdom, ushtap zirshinati, I sheltered them. This is a shin t preterite, first common singular, from pazaru, to shelter, with a third feminine plural pronominal suffix, object suffix. I caused them to be sheltered. So he's talking about how he sheltered people and took care of them. And so going back to that the strong, Danim in Sham Analachabalim, that the strong, the weak, literally for not to hurt, that the strong might not hurt the weak. Analachabalim, the preposition ana takes the genitive followed by the negative particle la and the G infinitive in the genitive of chabalim for not to harm, literally. The root is chabalu, to do wrong. So what he's saying in line 60, basically, I have caused those that I rule over to be sheltered, that the strong, the weak, might not harm, might not do harm to the weak. And then he comes to the orphan and the widow in 61. So I continue to go back to that. Ikutim, were not to harm of the widow. By the way, the Sumerian was Nu Sig. Ikutim is the Akkadian, and Nu Musu is Almatim. So the orphan, Ikutim is orphan, and Almatim is widow, a translation of the Sumerian. So for not to harm of the widow, and or of the orphan and the widow, shuteshurim, for to direct aright in a kadingera, which is in Babylon, the Sumerian Babilim, for to shuteshurim, for to direct right. Here we have a shin t infinitive with the previous preposition ana from asheru, to direct. Hammurabi claims to direct the cause of the orphan and the widow. And it's interesting, this theme is found throughout the Hebrew scriptures and in the New Testament in James 1:27, where James teaches that pure religion is to visit the fatherless and the widows. And then in line 66, let me just go back here. In Babilim, Uru Sha'an U Enlil, the city which Anum and Enlil, Reshishu, its head, Ulu, its head, I cause to raise up. Ulu is a D preterite, first common singular from Elu, to raise up. So I cause to grow, to go up, to lift up. And then we continue. Ina esagila bitim sha kima shame u ersetim ishdashu. In Esagila, the house, whose as heaven and earth, its foundations are established. And it's kina is the verb here. Kina is a gestative, third feminine plural from kanu, I established, or to establish. Are established. So he made that possible. He's claiming the house of the god Elil is established. It's interesting. David wanted to establish a house for Yahweh in 2 Samuel chapter 7. And this is from the verb kina, is from the word kanu. I'm reminded of the Hebrew kun, to establish. And like I said, here it's a feminine plural from kanu, to establish. So the house of the god Elil is established, is what he's saying. I'm going to stop there. I sort of got myself a little bit on track, going back and forth from what I had normalized with the grammar. So we'll pick up in line 70, and I'm holding these to 10 minutes, doing grammar in 10 minutes if I can.